Hello, this is Shane183, and this is round 9 of, maybe it's round 10 actually, of AOR anyway. It's the Silverstone, the British Grand Prix, my home Grand Prix, which I tend to do half decently at, although quite often on the pad in previous years, I spun in Maggots and Beckett's in the last 2 seasons of AOR, so hopefully that won't happen again. But yeah, coming into my first lapping quali now, the end of my lap, and Ethan is currently in pole, TRPT on 26.8, and I'm going to come across the line now on a banker lap, which wasn't the best lap in the world. Well, it was actually pretty awful, but it's a 27.6. My PB was a 26.4, a 26.5 I think it was. But I don't expect to get that near that. But this is my best lap in quali, and I actually practiced a lot for this race, like a lot more than normal. It wasn't loads compared to some people, but I did like 2 practice races and probably about 2 hours of time trial maybe. So it was but a lot more than I normally do, but still not loads compared to what I did like back in 2016 days. But yeah, so now I've come through the first sector very well, already half a second up, although I did miss the turn 3 apex quite a bit. I'm still half a second up my previous lap, which is quite a lot. So that's already on for like a low 27, which is pretty good. Now coming down towards the Brooklyn's corner, 4th gear, clipping the apex nicely. We're purple in sector 1, but I don't know if that's true because it often says that you are when you're actually not. But now coming through the woodcut, and we're up to 6 tenths up momentarily, but now down to like 5.5 tenths. Moving over to the right, trying to take the shortest line possible down towards Cops, leaving it in 7th gear, overtake mode all lap as the ERS really isn't this problem right here. Could have taken a little bit more speed through there, did off slightly too much. And now coming down towards the Maggots and Beckett section, that very, very nice to drive on the wheel. Definitely flat through the first 2. Downshift to 6th. Could have been a bit more committed through there, but I just don't want to call a cut after having such a good start to the lap. So yeah, it's cost me a little bit of time compared to the previous lap. It wasn't the best run through there. I'm 3 thousandths, it says in the top left, off pole position at the minute, which is very close. As my best actual quali of the season, discounting China, which was using the fastest time than everyone else, but my fastest actual quali has been like 6th. So yeah, this has been off a very good lap coming through Vale. Now 3rd gear, clipping the inside, not the best there, and I'm taking the shortest line possible down towards the line. 4th upshifting, no wheel spin, kicking curve inside, and it's a 26.9, which is I'm pretty happy with that. 700ths off Ethan, but obviously pole time probably will improve throughout the session. But now you can see a minute left, I'm still 2nd place somehow, and coming through this section, it's not been the best start to the lap, as I'm a 10th down. I was trying to take the shortest line possible, and I've caught a cut there, which is like not even a corner. I've actually caught a cut there, like says it all really. And yeah, didn't improve, but I'll take that. P4 on the grid, Dutchman on pole, ahead of Ben and Ethan and myself in 4th, 2 tenths off pole with 26.9. My PB would have got me pole, but I wasn't going to get that really. So yeah, very happy with that. P4 on the grid for the British Grand Prix. Starting on soft tyres, that's what I qualified on. It's an easy 1-stop onto mediums around lap 10. And putting a lot of fuel in. I will be actually pitting lap 9 because I like to do an undercut, and in my practice races, that's the lap I pitted on. So yeah, it should be a good race. Checking the setups all right. And now coming onto the grid for the 5 red lights for the British Grand Prix from 4th on the grid. And it's lights out and away we go. Very short hold, and in rich and hot lap mode, it's not even the best start, as the top 3 got away from me quite a bit, but Pickles and Ludova haven't got that near me behind, so holding 4th place for now pretty comfortably. And now the top 3 are going to be battling. I'm going to try and stay out of trouble, keep my front wing intact. And they've actually gone very wide there through turn 3. So Ben's going to be pushed wide a bit by Ethan. I'm going to try to go up the inside of turn 4 now. And up the inside of Ben, he's going to have to leave his space on the inside. He's a very clean racer, so I expect him to. I've had to turn as much as possible, left a bit of space on the outside there. And now coming down towards Brooklands, and Ethan is just behind Dutchman. I'm ahead of Ben for the time being, but he's still alongside. Side by side on that one, 3rd gear, trying to leave space on the outside. He's still there. And now we've got the wide line, trying to get a good exit off the woodcut corner. And we're on the inside. He's going to run over the curves a little bit, get bad traction into overtake mode, and up into 3rd place, which is a decent start. We're on the podium positions already, so yeah, just get my head down now, try and stay in this pack, getting a slipstream of Ethan and a Vessel, and that's a warning already, which is good. Don't want to get many warnings because the corner cutting penalties are very easy to pick up around here, so if you don't get any, there's a high chance you'll gain positions at the end of the race. And now coming down on the exit of Chapel, and Ben is right behind me still. He's in the slipstream. I've got the ERS modes. I'm still slightly in the slipstream of Ethan, but not getting much of a slipstream, I imagine. And now Ben is going to throw up the inside of Stowe. I'm trying to leave his space on the inside, just about done that. And now coming down towards Vale, he's still right behind me. He's going to switch it to the inside, looks like. Yes, he is, and go for a dive bomb. And it's a very late move, but pretty clean. He left his space on the outside, so fair enough. And he's probably a faster driver than me. Well, definitely is most of the time, but I've got pretty good pace around here, it seems. So we're pretty close between us throughout the whole race, I imagine. And yeah, he's got that position back. And I'm not quite close enough to go from moving into turn 3. And breaking 100-meter board on the first few laps, just so I don't run into the back of him or anything. And you can see the Williams of Pickler's just behind me. Ben's gone wide actually there, so but then closes the line pretty late, so no gap on the inside, and he's already starting to get away. And now lap 4, 2 laps later, and the top 2 are still battling of Dutchman and Ethan, and Ben is just behind them now, and this battling has allowed me to catch up as well. So Ben's gone up the inside of Dutchman, sorry, and I've already picked up a penalty, which is not good. It's only lap 4, so yeah, that I didn't actually get any more penalties the rest of the race, but still, that's not too good getting a penalty this early. And now Ben is still just behind him, but the top 2 are battling loads, and that is, I think that's Dutchman going wide there through Stowe. Ben's going to go for the outside and switch to the inside, actually. A very good move from Ben, and he's up the inside. Dutchman, I'm going to try and maybe look up the inside as well, but not quite close enough. And Dutchman's trying to take a wide line, but Ben's in second place, Ethan in the lead, and Dutchman's still third. You can see in the minimap, look at the train of cars. It's like basically first down to I think about 9th is in a train, and I'm just like in the middle of it. So trying to take turn 1 well, but a little bit wide there, so Pickless might have a chance down towards turn 4, and he's going to go for it. Very late move from Pickless. He's hit my back end a little bit, but pretty late, aggressive. I wouldn't have gone for that myself, but fair enough. It didn't come off for him, luckily. Luckily for me, that is. And we're still in P4 for now, but got DRS and the higher S modes and Rich Mix. Pickless is still just behind, so it looks like he's going close enough for a move into Brooklands again. Trying to leave him space on the inside. Locks up a little bit on the front left, but staying on the track very well. And Pickless can't get the overtake done into Brooklands, so he's having to stick behind for now. And now that traction on the exit there was pretty good, and Pickless isn't really close enough now. And now lap 7, a lap later, I mean a few laps later, that's Ethan's gone very wide there. Dutchman's going to go up the inside. Ben's taking the lead, so these top 3 are battling really hard, and Dutchman's still just on the outside of Ethan. They are Thrive teammates, of course. They're probably not going to try and hold each other up too much, but Dutchman's up the inside of Ethan now, down towards the Wellington Straight. He's had to go over the curb, so not too good. And I've still got Pickless right behind me, another Thrive member, so I'm a bit surrounded at this point. And braking very late, almost hit the back of Ethan there. That was very late on the brakes, so luckily didn't lose my wing, but that's given Pickless a chance again now, because I had to go wide through Brooklands, and now I've got a very narrow line, and Pickless is going to try and do a switch back almost. He's up the inside, is he? Yes, he is up the inside. Got to leave him space down towards the old pit straight, then through Copse Corner. We're going to be side by side, trying to leave each other enough room. I'm going to try and brake early, don't want to make contact, and do a switch back move, but Pickless actually run wide there. Maybe he should have gotten that position back, but he didn't, so cool. Nothing really to worry about, as the slipstream is very good around here, so it should be okay. And he's on the pad. No, I don't really know what input his device is on, but anyway, he's got a pretty bad run through that section of corners, and I've got in the slipstream again now, trying to go to the inside line. And take the position back after he track extended on the exit of Copse. So now coming up the inside and got the outside line for Vale, which is kind of where you want to be, because if you can swing around the outside, you've got the inside line for the last corner. And we've done just that and taken the position back into 4th place. Petey has got away a little bit, and the 2 leaders of Ben and Dutchman have got away quite a bit as well. So if I can maybe get a good lap and try and stay on the back of Ethan, which we have done that, it's lap 9 now, a lap later, and try and take it through here, lifting off quite a bit to make sure I don't track extend, and Pickless is still right behind me. But this is a lap I'm going to be pitting on, so I don't really want to go for a move, because if I'm in the wrong position, it means he might block the pit lane. But Ethan is kind of all over the place through this section, as he loves to tell people in his videos. He's on the pad, so that might be why he's struggling through that section. And now in the slipstream, we don't want to go for a move into this corner, because I just want to stay behind and make sure I don't have to avoid, have to go through him into the pits, as that could end up in a crash. And now coming down towards the pit lane, it's a very slow pit lane, so you got to brake pretty early and make sure you get down to 37 miles an hour, and we're into the pits. I think Pickless has followed me in. Yes, he has. So a bit of an undercut. You can see on the minimap the 2 leaders still battling very hard of Dutchman and Ben. So trying to get an undercut here, it might not work, because the heat up on medium tyres is very slow, and cold tyres are horrific round here with all the high speed corners. But Ferrari into the pits now. Putting on the medium tyres, 2.7 pit stop, very good, and we should get out ahead of Pickless. Yes, we do. We've actually extended the gap quite a lot because he got held up, so that's pretty good. You can see on the minimap that is a Haas car, I think, of Badman, who started on soft tyres. I don't really know. He might have had to pit early for wing damage or something, but yeah, can't have pits now. Don't want to lose the back end into the pit wall, because that'd be very embarrassing. You see in the video, the Mercedes of Fenham has come out of nowhere, and I don't really know where he was. He must have been quite at the back of that train that was on the minimap on earlier in the race. But either way, he's right behind me now on heated up medium tyres, and he's very quick, so he's going to have a good chance now. I'm losing the back end everywhere on traction. Up into overtake mode is kind of important to stay ahead of him, because we're on the same strategy, but obviously being behind can kind of help a bit as well, because of the benefit of slipstream. He's going to go up the inside, actually, very aggressive move there. Kind of expected it, because he is a very aggressive driver. But around the outside he goes and takes that position into what is currently 10th place. Don't really know where it'll be with all the when all the pit stops play out, but that is a net position, unfortunately. So lost one to Fenham, but now coming on to the end of the lap, you can see all the cars are in the pits now. This should be a lot of positions going. Fenham actually sets the fastest lap of the race there, which is 2/10 faster than my PB so far, and now coming down through Abbey. And that is a Force India of Dutchman who's been undercut by Fenham. So Fenham's come out of nowhere. He's probably in the net lead now, maybe. And that's another late move from Pickles. He's made a bit of contact with the back end again. So, yeah, he's pretty impatient to get past at this point. But, yeah, didn't get past that time, luckily. And I've got the DRS and slipstream on Dutchman. So he shouldn't have a chance into the next corner because I've got a very big overspeed, obviously, being the slipstream of Dutchman. And, yeah, this is going to be a very good fight now, because Dutchman and Fenham, well, Fenham's got, I think, 2 or 3 lap older tyres than Dutchman, and he'll be slightly slower, but he has got the track position, and slipstream is very good around here. So now, going a lap later, you can see Fenham's actually started pulling away, and that is, I think that's another Force India of Extremes coming out of the pits, and Extremes is in a net third now, and that is Ben is taking the lead on an overcut. So very surprising. Ben is actually leading the race, well, net lead. I think someone hasn't pitted yet. But the 2 Force Indias here, the 2 Thrive teammates of Extremes and Dutchman, battling away for what is currently 3rd place. I'm in a net 5th now. Unfortunately, lost the position through the pit stops. And Ben has actually left now. That is very unfortunate. Ben is disconnected from the session, from the net lead of the race, but he was able to get back in later in the race. So yeah, it's not all lost for Ben, but he has definitely lost out on a chance to fight for the victory. As it stands at the minute, we're right behind Extremes now through Cop's corner, trying to take it cautiously. He's obviously on cold tyres, and that is what happens when you don't take it very well. He's gone very wide there, and we're still side by side through the high-speed corners. This isn't really what you want, but we're side by side now through Magus and Beckett's. Charlie in space on the inside, and no, he just had to back out of that, and I'm up into 4th place, which is net 3rd. So that's been a pretty good lap. Well, not for Ben, but for me it has been a pretty good lap. But now Extremes in the slipstream is going to be very close. I've not really got slipstream on Dutchman. We're going to make a defensive move there. Extreme chance to swing it around the outside and make that move very less than a little bit of space on the outside there. And he's up the inside of Vale, which means if he breaks later, then he's probably going to have the move done. And yes, he's just about, well, he's forced me a little bit wide there, but that's fair enough. He had the inside line, so he's up back into a net 3rd. Dutchman sets fastest lap just behind Fenham, and now lap 16, quite a few laps later, and they're still battling the 2 leaders of Fenham and Dutchman. Fenham with the older tyres, but the Dutchman with the not with the track position. Fenham's got the track position, and they're still battling very hard here, and that's allowed me the streams to close up. And you can see the gap. I've actually got a little bit of a gap now to PT and the other Williams and Pickles on the minimap. So it's a 4-way scrap for the lead, with a little bit of a gap, 1.7 seconds back to Ethan, which is a very comfortable gap really. And now the 2 leaders are battling so hard now, and this is maybe won't end well, but still very close battling between Fenham, Dutchman, Extremes, and myself. This is like, I've missed this completely because I haven't been, apart from discounting China, I haven't been near the front like for an actual net position in like a very long time, probably since season 13, which was this is season 16 now. So yeah, an awful long time since I've been in an actual battle for the win. And Dutchman goes very wide there. Fenham's taken the lead again, running outside, and that's allowed myself and Extremes to catch up once again. And Extremes just can't get a move done, but down to a Cops. Is he in close enough? It doesn't really look like it. And Dutchman is going to hold on to 2nd for now, but Fenham, this is a lot later. I was basically driving around in 4th for the whole race, not really going for anything too silly, and trying to keep my position, keep the gap as well, because Pickles is fallen a long way back now, and Ethan as well. So got a very big gap behind, and now at lap 24, just a couple of laps later, a couple of laps now to the end of the race, and you can see the top 3 still battling very hard. Fenham goes up the inside of Dutchman. That's a very close, maybe contact was made there. Extreme's gone very wide through Stowe as well, so maybe close enough for a move, but no, I think better, try and go cautiously. And Fenham and Dutchman are still side by side through Vale, and now down towards the starting the penultimate lap. Fenham is just about leading, with Dutchman still side by side with him, so this is very close stuff now. And Extreme's just ahead of me. I'm still got a slipstream, so try to play it cautiously. Dutchman goes wide through turn 1, bit of almost contact with Fenham, but Fenham's just out, and Extreme's gone flying up the inside. It's going to be contact there, surely. Yes, there is. Extremes and Dutchman make contact. I'm going to go around outside of absolutely everyone. Is this going to work? Bit of contact with Extremes. I'm still on the outside trying to get good traction over the curb, and side by side with Extremes, he's forced me off the track a bit there, but no warning luckily, and we're going to overtake Mode and Rich Mix, and actually into the lead of the race on the second last lap. Can you believe the scenes? Extreme's gone flying up the inside again of the Brooklands. I'm trying to stay on the track and not get any warnings, because I think I'm 1 warning away from a penalty now. Still side by side with Extremes. I've got the inside line though, so it's my line and I can force him out, and that is exactly what I've done, into the lead of the race for the actual net position. Now, very close behind me with Phenom and Extremes, trying to go cautiously through Stowe, and I've been spun a little bit as contact there with Extremes, and that has not gone well, and that's got even worse. And I'm out of the race with a lap to go, so is Dutchman actually. So frustrating. The whole race I was driving really well, trying to stay in 4th place. I was playing it so cautiously as well, and then the one chance I got to go for the win, I took it, and then a few corners later I get spun out by Extremes, and then got collected by Dutchman. So yeah, that's the end of the race for me. Finished, well, I didn't finish, but I'm 14th. I will be classified still because I did 90%. Extremes won the race, but I did take that to the stewards, so I don't know if he will be given the win or not yet. And Phenom actually didn't beat Ben. Ben came back and beat Phenom, but because he disconnected, the times went a bit weird. So Ben was ahead of Phenom, and Ethan and Pickless in 4th and 5th with a lot of penalties each. And yeah, that's the rest of the grid. The rest of the order you can see there: DNF for me and for Pickless, and for Vessel, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a good pace. It was a very fun race until the end, but I've been annoyed about that ever since, pretty much. So yeah, so the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. This has been J13, and I will see you next time.